Okay.
Okay, Heather, you and I are visiting, and the only thing I really know for sure is we've got some CRPS issues that we're dealing with.
Yes, sir. I just finished Dr. Katinka's 12-week program in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and so I'm in remission. Um,
Tell me how your experience was. I'm fascinated with everything I've been researching about her program and what they do. So tell me how you're doing.
I'm doing really good. You just go and they give you like, I think it's like 14 or 15 different therapies that they give you, and you kind of just go from therapy to therapy each day.
Mhm.
I think you do like 8 therapies a day. You go Monday through Thursday from like 9 to 6, and then you have the weekend off to recover because it's a lot of work, and you definitely need those 3 days. Um, but yeah, it's amazing. I went in there with a good attitude, and I was certain it was going to work for me, and it did, and I'm all healed, and I feel great.
That is awesome. Can you share with me a little bit about where the CRPS has been, or what kinds of problems you've had, and for how long before you got to find Dr. Katinka?
Well, I fell, but or actually broke my left big toe back in 2012. And after that, it just kind of spread throughout my body, and I ended up getting it like full body.
Mm.
It was everywhere. And I tried all sorts of things. You name it, I tried it. I tried the ketamine infusion treatments, medications, medical marijuana, nerve blocks. And then one night I was just praying, and I just told God I just could not do it anymore. I just couldn't do it. Like, I didn't want to like end my life or anything. I just knew that I could not go on. I couldn't do it anymore. And so we had talked about the SPERO clinic, and then my dad was just saying that, the next day he said, we'll definitely get you there. So with family's help, and we did GoFundMe's and everything, we were able to get there.
That's quite a sacrifice and quite a lot to go through to do that. My goodness.
Yeah.
So this has been what, nine years in the process here that you've been going through it, dealing with it. Um, how long ago did you actually find out about the Spiro Clinic?
I actually found out about it back in November, and I gave my deposit to them, and then I was ready to go. I started in January, and so now I'm all done and ready for summer.
Wow, wow, that's so incredible for you to have such a change in the last 3 months, though. That
Yeah.
is that is a wonderful thing. So, at what point during your treatment did you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm turning the corner. I'm not feeling the same.
I would say it was probably about it was the first video that we did, because you lay on like a table, and she comes up to you behind you and does like your vagus nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she saw like the sun break out on my face because I just like start crying. I was like, I'm not feeling any pain. And she was like, let's do a video today. And I was like, okay. And so when we did the video, she was like, what's your pain level at? And I was like, it's a 0. And that was only after like 2 weeks.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's on YouTube underneath her channel. But you have to stay there because I mean it might be a 0 that day, but
Right.
the next day it might not be. You have lots of ups and downs, and they want to make
And
sure you're where you want to be for 2 weeks before you leave.
that's yeah, that's a similar thing that I find with people is, pain is going to come and go until you make some deep changes in your central nervous system that say, hey, I'm back in the command and control center. And
Yeah,
then you can change your relationship with it.
right.
That's great. So I'm going to look that up. I'm not sure if I've seen that yet, but I'm going to find it.
Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. It's just called the Spiro Clinic.
Okay.
all her videos are on there, and I watched hundreds and hundreds of her videos before I went there, and I just was amazed at all the people getting better. And I just knew after watching all those videos, I was like, I'm gonna do that too.
I watched with interest her video a week or so ago, where she talked about, you know, how she had gotten so interested in treating a population that the rest of the medical community throws their hands up at and says,
Yeah.
you know what, I can't afford to take the time to help you because nothing seems to work. And it's just so wonderful to find a practitioner so dedicated to figuring out the components of getting people better.
Yeah, and she just works hard every day trying to learn more and more. She's literally like an angel.
That is wonderful. So Heather, you ordered the Pain Tuner Pro. Were you exposed to that in the clinic there, or had they used that in there with you?
No, they've not used it there. Somebody that was there mentioned that they had it or they were going to get it. And so that's when I started watching all your videos and everything. And I just wanted to learn about it and, hope, it can help keep me in remission.
That is our hopes. Their clinic now has several of these in place, and it's wonderful to see how they're able to help people with them. But um, that's primarily what we need to visit with about today, is how to help keep you heading in the right direction, right?
Yes, that'd be awesome.
And I'm sure you have a number of therapies and exercises and things that you're doing that you learned through your time there, right?
Yeah, they send you home with one machine. It's called a personal recovery system. And
Mhm.
uh, just if you're having any pain anywhere, you can put that on there and it'll help a little bit. There's
Mhm.
also, they suggest you get an ARP. It's a physical therapy machine, kind of like on steroids, but it
Mhm.
was a little out of my budget. So I wasn't
Mhm.
able to get that.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about some things that will help you with our little invention,
Okay.
and hopefully that will be a big help to you and to others as well. So, for starters, you don't have much pain that you're dealing with now, right?
Not really, not right at this moment. I do have
Okay.
some upper back pain.
All right. So, one of the things that would be really helpful then, you've got the device near you, right?
I do, but I don't know if I have it put together right. I tried and tried last night, and it was a little bit frustrating for a minute, but I think I finally got it together.
Well, let's see. Hold it up to the camera and let's see. It looks to me like you have it perfectly put together.
Okay, so there's one little clear part that just doesn't go on there.
Oh, it goes on there when you want to do just one trigger point.
Okay.
So you will find that that little point helps drive the energy into a single point. You know, it
Okay.
was kind of an afterthought after we created everything. Um, the This little clear piece is
Yeah.
exactly the same piece as the device has on it.
Yeah, that's where I got a little
A little
confused.
confused?
I was
Yeah,
like,
it has a little hexagonal point to it. That's actually where the nut inside of the, let's see if I can point this at the camera. There's a little nut inside of there that holds that piece together.
yeah.
But what we found was when we took some of these that weren't attached and we put them on that little end, the little white end, it made a perfect trigger point attachment to take the messaging into the brain.
Okay.
So don't lose it. It's a great little piece.
Yeah, I've got it in my little bag.
Perfect. Perfect. But a lot of the things that you will be doing with the device are going to be both hemispheres of the brain. So both sides of the body, both sides of midline. That's what we created this splitter for, if you will. It's made so that the exact same energy force that comes out at the end of the device is felt at the both ends at the same time, which is what allows the brain to start sensing normalcy. You'll notice that if you put the device, just turn the device on and put those two ends above your eyes somewhere, you'll notice that one side's going to feel different than the other. You've
Okay.
noticed that?
Yeah. I actually did this one earlier.
Mm.
I was able
So,
to do this one.
so one of the things that you'll notice with this, and especially if you hold it with both hands, and if you put your tongue in between your teeth, which down regulates or calms down that clenching response,
Okay.
and hum softly to it, within
Hmm.
about 30 seconds as you're humming, it will take those, it'll normalize the forces, or you will feel like it's more equal on both sides. What that's actually doing is helping calibrate right and left hemispheres of your brain all at the
Okay.
same time with your vagus nerve tone. It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. My
So,
boyfriend used it earlier and he's been sleeping for about 3 hours. He's so
gotcha.
relaxed.
Oh, it's very good at notching down the nervous system so that we encourage sleep, and sleep is important to recovery.
Yeah.
Absolutely important. Um, so, but that's one of the key important features, is that we're using this as much as we can on both sides of midline, both sides of the middle of your body at the same time, so that your brain continues to get this calibration from your feet up. Now, where you had where your CRPS started in your big toe, do
Uh-huh.
you have some stiffness and some things down in that area still?
Well, if I'm doing a whole lot, at some point my foot's gonna start hurting a little bit, and that's when I know I need to sit down and rest and take it easy and
Mhm.
not do anything else for the rest of the day.
Okay. So being very cautious of that, or being very aware of that, is extremely important, because when this first happened, you probably just kind of pushed right through it, and eventually your body said, "Hey, you've got to let me heal, or everything's going to go haywire," and it went haywire.
Yeah,
Um,
because I got scared at one point because I felt a lot of my CRPS coming back, and I was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And I said, "I've got to slow down," because they say Dr. Katinka says, you're not done healing once you're done there. You got to come home and heal.
yeah, and really the process could take quite a long time still.
Yeah, they
But
told me to be relaxed and have a boring life for the next 2 years.
and it's an interesting concept. That's hard to do. It's hard to do, but the thing is, whether you're involved in super exciting things, or whether you're involved in super scary things, your nervous system is going to be spitting out all kinds of chemicals. So she's right. If you can just kind of stay in the middle and not be going super excited, or just stay with what did you call it, a boring life, or
Yeah,
you know that's really important to keep things from going too ballistic in your nervous system. Not always easy to do because life happens.
right.
So, have you tried by chance the technique that is shown on page 9, where it starts down at your feet? I'm wondering if you dared try that one yet.
No, the only one I've tried is I just want to make sure I had it hooked up properly.
Hmm.
So I only did the one between the eyebrows.
Okay. Oh, that's one of my favorite spots. You can feel that very, very calming to the brain and central nervous system, can't you?
Yes, sir.
So I would like to try several things before you try it down at the feet,
Okay.
just to help calibrate or reboot your computer just a little bit. And let me grab one. Hang on a second. So the first thing that I'd like you to do is just turn it on at its base level. So just push the very bottom button one time. Hold on to the tongs with both hands.
I'm scared I'm gonna drop it.
Flip it so that the lights are up. It just will weight the device better, but flip the tongs, turn the tongs so that they're down.
Okay.
I'm all about ergonomics. That's my other life. So as you hold that, just rest the bottom of it down gently on your stomach area. So you're just holding this just below chest level. Let me see if I can get my camera adjusted better. Holding this just down below belt, or so that the bottom of it's hitting about the belly button area.
Okay.
And just tongue back in between the teeth, because we've got to calibrate that vagus nerve to it, and humming softly to it. And the best hum is just a low level drone, just simply making sound. And if you can match the device and its tone, that's great. But on some of the patterns and things that we'll use on you later on, it's hard to match them. They're changing so fast. So I would do this for starters for a minute or two. And if you still had some active CRPS in one of your hands, I probably wouldn't start with that. But I'm just wanting to calibrate your central nervous system a little bit. Now, you shouldn't feel any pain whatsoever. As you're humming, it's actually slowing down your breathing and slowing down your heart rate. So if you had a pulse oximeter on, you would notice that it usually will bring the heart rate down and bring the oxygen levels up. The other thing that's really nice, Heather, to do when you're doing this is the space that you have up here is a giant movie screen of things that you can do to help create healing for your body. So the things that you feel it with while you're doing these therapies are really important. I tell my clients, think of things that you're grateful for, because everything you're grateful for, and you've got a lot of things you're grateful for, you just told me about a bunch of them. Everything you're grateful for has a little packet of chemicals associated with it that helps put you into a better healing state. And notice that it just calms your heart and calms your soul. And I like to tell people this is a great time to think of everything you're grateful for. And if you've got a relationship with that wonderful being upstairs, tell him thanks. And it's time for a gratitude prayer, because you've been given so much.
That's right.
So many people have all come together to help create a new life for Heather. That's awesome. So go ahead and turn it off now and put it to the side. And tell me, what do you feel through your body right now?
Just calm.
Just a very good calm. That's perfect. I mean, if your body recognizes that it's a device that's in the healing range, that it brings calm, that's a wonderful start to being able to get it to help you in lots of other ways.
Okay.
So where else do you carry a lot of tension in your body? So you said at your upper back or somewhere there, is that right?
Yeah.
So
like on both sides, like right here and right here.
Okay.
Or near my scapula, I think.
I don't know if you have a chair that's got a high back behind you, do you?
I don't know if it's too high.
Yeah, it'd probably be better, and maybe you can try this a little bit later, but have you seen the technique where we take it just like this, It's on page 9, number 7.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how it's placed right behind you. And then I love to put our pillow back behind you, in part because my neighbor makes the pillow, and that's just such a wonderful thing. But I love using that pillow and just laying back against the device right there.
Is this the one that actually triggers the vagus nerve?
Well, that's the neat thing. Every one of these is going to interact with the vagus nerve, every one.
Awesome.
And one of the most important things you're doing while doing any of these therapies is that humming. Because the hummers are a direct branch of the vagus nerve. That's part of the reason why this remarkable device has such a connection with it. So anywhere you put it in connection with the body, as you begin humming, your vagus nerve gets a calibration and a recalibration over and over that help it improve its tone.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that one at the back of the neck, though, here's my favorite way to do that one. As you're leaning against that, and turn it on to a comfortable level. You can probably handle it at like 5 or 6 or somewhere there.
When I was doing this earlier, I was doing it to the green
algorithm.
Yeah.
And as long as you feel just fine, the algorithm sometimes with CRPS or people that have had CRPS, I'm very careful to introduce the algorithms until your brain says, oh, I like that.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll just start it on a single level, like to calibrate your system for a week or so until it recognizes all of the frequencies. It's kind of like teaching you beginner piano lessons would be just the set levels, and the algorithms are getting you ready for a concert.
Okay.
So with that, I like to lean back against that so that it gets the upper neck touching it. And as you hum to that, you'll actually slowly turn your head side to side. You can see this works great against a couch or an easy chair.
Okay.
But you can get the sense of it right there.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that will take all kinds of tension between the shoulder blades and that upper shoulder area and the neck. That will take a lot of tension out of that area.
Okay, awesome.
You can spend several minutes, even a couple times a day, just taking tension out of that area, and the rest of the body gets into a better healing state.
Okay.
How's that one feel?
Good.
Not perfect yet because you weren't able to relax enough for it.
Yeah, wasn't.
But you get the sense of how to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
So one of the next things that I might do, because I really want to get your nervous system understanding and communicating and connecting, is I would have an individual, you said you've got a boyfriend that can help you out with this, right? Or somebody. I would turn the device on probably at least mid-level high, at least halfway up.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn it down so you can hear me good. I would do the scraping using the wings. The spine is going to be right here. You're going to start down at about tailbone level and scrape up that spine probably a dozen times, just very slowly. And there's a video of this on my YouTube channel if that'll help. It shows back issues or low back issues, I believe. So bringing that up the spine is going to help the spinal nerves all receive that same kind of calibration that we are doing up here at your brain. So the nerves coming from your toes go up through the spinal cord, and you're just going to be using this all the way up your spine repeatedly to get those muscles and nerves that help support the spine.
I use it on the side like this?
Yep, on the side. Yep, just like that.
Okay.
So these wing ends will be in the muscles at the sides of the spine.
And
It
you
won't
start at
actually,
the tailbone and you go up.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You say you start at the tailbone and go up?
Yep. And
Okay.
just bring that gently up repeatedly, slowly, to wake up the communication pathways, and it'll invigorate them, if you will.
Okay.
Important to hum with that again, because we're just wanting the brain to find balance with every single area that we place this.
Okay.
If those work great, these first initial techniques, and your brain says, oh, I really like that, I'll tell you where you will get probably the most help from.
Okay.
One of them is placing the device about an inch or so apart on the tongs and doing this technique underneath the jaw. I think that it's number 4 on that page 9.
Okay.
When you do that, this lower part is hitting the chest bone. So flip it over, or flip the body of the device so that the things are facing up, but flip the tongue so the other way. There you go, 180 degrees. Now bring them in close. Perfect. And that goes underneath your jaw in the soft area there, with the other end hitting the chest bone. This helps that whole area around the thymus gland, the thyroid glands, the parotid glands, all of these important structures here are helped by that. See if you can turn that up to level 6 or 7 and see how that feels.
How do you know when it's going up?
Oh, so you hit the algorithm button. So let's talk about that.
I don't think I've ever met anyone.
So the up is only the up arrow,
Brilliant.
which is the top arrow, right? Can you see that there?
Oh, okay.
But if you hit the second button down, that's only going to be algorithms. So you can no longer do up or down once the algorithms are fired
Okay.
up.
Okay.
So you have to take it off of algorithms to do it manually.
How do you know what number you're on?
There's only 10. So you just count the little beeps you've done. You can feel it as it goes up each level.
Okay, I got you.
And if it ever feels too strong, just back it down a little bit. The third button down will back it down.
I have it on 5. That's pretty strong.
Okay, yeah, don't go any stronger than. Does it feel okay there?
Mm-hmm.
And then hum to that, of course. And again, I like to hold it with both hands because I want to use the fingers as a way to balance right and left hemispheres of the brain as well. It's rattling on a chain or something there.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yep.
Okay.
This one will feel very comfortable. You can do it laying down or anything that you need to so that you're relaxed more. Remembering to fill your mind with those things that you're super grateful for. So Heather, all of these techniques you could do for a minute or 2 or 5, it wouldn't hurt. But my recommendation is do it for a minute or so in any of these spots that you'd like to try. Let's stay away from your feet for the first week that you use it.
Okay.
Because I sense that, you know, being that area where it started, I want to make sure that you get everything above waist level, really understanding how the tool can get it into balance before we go down there and start working on that area.
That sounds good.
That's an important concept for my friends with CRPS. Never start right at the front line of battle with the tool, because it's really a backdoor approach. We want to get the brain and central nervous system calmed down, not go right to the area that was the worst part of the battle.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think you've explained everything really, really well. And it's fine if you want to put this on your YouTube channel so other people can learn.
I would love to, in part because I think that the information that you shared about your experiences at the SPERO Clinic and with Dr. Katinka, that's a message that the world needs to understand.
Yeah, it
She
is.
has a gift, but more than that, the world needs to understand that there is hope for these chronic, I mean, it's called the suicide diagnosis for a reason, unfortunately. And you know what it's like to be at that point where it's just unrelenting, unremitting, and you don't feel like there's any solution in sight. But there is hope, and you can be the way that you are now and feel like there's a whole life in front of you again.
Yeah, that's definitely the way I feel.
Well, I'm excited to see your progress. I would suggest that here about another couple weeks down the road, we visit again. We can just jump on for a brief little call and I can help you progress. But I want you to be very cautious, careful about when you start introducing some of the things down there at the feet. Make sure you go at least a week and that your nervous system really knows the responses the device creates. Then when you do progress down to there, keep your shoes on when you start. It'll add a layer of protection, if you will. It's like having your armor on so that it can be sure, or that you can be sure how you respond to it before you ever start progressing that, okay?
Okay.
I'm excited to see how this does. I'll send you a link to it, and with your permission, I will make it available for other individuals to watch, because I think that that's great learning.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to show me how to use your device.
Oh, you are so welcome. Happy to see how it can help you and how it can help others.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You as well.